So you say sorry to the ghost, then you flush them down the toilet?
No, I'm not flushing them down. I'm flushing bad energy down. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Zula Answers. I'm Brenda.
And I'm Fauzi.
And I'm so happy to be back.
I don't care.
Yay! I know you don't care. Why? Because the latest episode with Larry, you all seem to have a lot of fun without me.
Yeah.
Because it was chaotic.
Correct.
There was a lot of shouting
Correct.
and screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm back. And today we are here to discuss travel horror stories.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll be rating them out of 5 airplanes based on how ridiculous the stories are.
Okay.
Okay?
You got any travel horror stories yourself that you want to share with the world?
I don't actually.
Don't have a.
Okay, the most outrageous story. There was once a few years back, I went to Korea for summer school, and my friends and I decided to climb Bukhansan Mountain.
Okay.
Right? And then we asked this like advanced climber, which is the fastest route down, because it was gonna be like sundown soon.
Okay.
And then he pointed to a particular route lah, but turns out it's an advanced route. And we didn't have like the proper shoes and things needed to climb down. And we were very scared because when we opened Google Maps, right, it was just a red dot in the middle of greenery. So I started crying because I didn't want to die.
Wait.
Shout out to my friends.
That was your solution?
No, so I still continued, but I cried because I was scared. So shout out to my friends for being there for me. But TRDR, we almost died because we had to slide down rocks and like we had to hold ropes. That was how steep everything was.
That one real
That one really real. We were really scared we were going to die because
dear.
it was like already 6+ and we know that the sun was going to set in like a few minutes. But in the end, we managed to get out lah. Story number 1 is titled Overly Hospitable. A guy in Iran offered to let me and someone I met along the way to stay overnight at his house. We had fun, talked for some time, and played with his children before going to sleep. I slept beside the husband while my travel buddy, female, slept with his wife. Just a pretty normal night where you stay over at a stranger's place. How is staying over at a stranger's place normal?
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
okay, never mind.
I've done it before,
In the middle of the night, the husband woke me up and told me, "My wife wants to sleep with you."
What?
I was still sleepy, and I heard it as, "My wife wants to sleep here." And I just nodded my head.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. Long story short, the wife came over and started to touch me. I instantly became awake and shocked. Husband took my hand to touch wife. I instantly sat up and said sorry and ran to my buddy and slept beside her. Oh my god,
What is there to say about this?
No wait, this is some kind of scam. The Iranian couple obviously has this all planned out. They'll purposely invite people to their house so they can do it.
What I feel bad about is that it's obviously the Iranian lady's
Kink.
interest in the man. Because the buddy at this point is just sleeping.
Oh yeah, why
Sister
she
is left out.
neglected?
Poor thing. There could be a foursome, but the lady chose only one.
That's true. Okay, but in the first place, right, reading this story, if I'm in a foreign country, I wouldn't even agree to stay over at a stranger's place.
Actually, why not?
I'm scared.
Oh.
Because I'm a very cautious person.
Okay, I'm
would,
completely different from you. This is because I've like couch surfed before, so I've met different people and then basically stayed in their apartments before lah.
Do you know this is how like murder cases start?
Well, I'm still alive and I've done this
You're
many
lucky.
times. Yeah, sometimes there's transactions involved lah. I'll just leave it at that. What do you think about like couples, married couples, who are opening their relationship?
Oh, I think it's fine.
Okay.
I feel like for marriage, right, it's between two people. As long as both of y'all create the terms and y'all agree to it, y'all can do whatever you want.
Love that. Slay.
Yeah.
Very modern. But interesting lah. I mean, like, damn it, why can't I get into this kind of situations?
I don't want.
What I'm curious about
Yeah.
really, right, is like when he ran over to sleep with the buddy,
Yeah.
he continued to sleep the entire night, never like say, okay, sorry, goodbye.
Correct.
Yeah.
I wanted to say, if this happened to me, I would not run and continue sleeping. I
Yeah.
would run away. And then, when the female buddy wakes up, right, her male buddy is beside her sleeping instead of the wife.
Oh my goodness.
That would be a bit weird, right? What?
Oh my god.
Oh, what? Got some drama.
Yes, yeah.
Later she think he like her, that kind, but actually they don't have this kind of relationship.
Gosh, so you think the Iranian couple is the catalyst to the start of a beautiful relationship.
Oh my god, yeah, but in not the best way lah. I would rate this a 4 out of 5.
Wow!
Because, right, there are so many layers to the story.
Okay, the layers, although we self-impose
but there are a lot of possibilities here, which is very exciting.
Honestly, I will give it like a 2 out of 5. I just think that this kind of things probably happen more often than we think. Oh, here we go. Story number 2. Smart toilet, not so smart guy. This kind of reminds me of my own story.
Wait, why? Maybe you can share later.
When you're talking about smart toilets, I think of the Japanese type of toilets. When I was younger, I honestly had zero idea how these toilets work. So there was once I basically pressed the bidet function while I was facing the toilet, so the water just on my face. And I was a child back then, so I came out wet.
Oh.
It was truly a moment in my life. Yeah. We were going on a trip to see family. We leave from the United States, but we have a layover in Korea. My dad tells me it's only 2 to 3 hours, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The layover wasn't 3 hours, it was 15. Wow, this is very long layover.
Oh no.
So I'm stuck in Incheon International Airport for basically half a day. I decided to explore every inch of Incheon International Airport. And this is where I find the most magical part of Incheon International Airport. There's a bathroom all the way at one of the terminals. It sounds surreal, but there's a garden before you hit the actual bathroom. When you step inside, it detects you and begins to play Mozart. Fucking classical music on your way to the porcelain throne. It's 1 a.m. I've been walking bored out of my mind, so I decided to give it a shot. I drop a deuce and hit the green button. Immediately, I'm hit with phase 1. A sharp, pressurized blast of water right on the butthole for 30 seconds. Sounds fun. It's like they program it to scan for buttholes and it hit with pinpoint accuracy. It took me by surprise, but hey, I decided to ride with it until I hit phase 2. A gentle splashing of tepid water begins soaking every body part in the lower nether regions. Naturally, this left me very uncomfortable and I wanted to leave, but then I get Vietnam flashbacks of when I was 10 years old and I hit the button on a bidet not knowing what it was. This is literally me! A spray of water hit me in the chest and I had to walk around all day with this toilet tattoo of shame on my shirt. I decide to just stick with it again and wipe off when it's over. Okay, fair. But then, out of nowhere, we hit phase 3. Apparently, the future toilet had an air dryer attached to it, eliminating the need for toilet paper. But unfortunately, the temperature of the hot air blowing on my butthole was roughly between sweaty summer updraft and standing too close to the oven. Let me just say that I recently was in Japan, and the hotel I was staying at actually had an air dryer function at the toilet. And it was very cool. It was amazing, sister. I was there getting a little warm, little tingle in my booty hole. It was a vibe. Like I would like one of those in my house. So I look down at the remote to turn it off, but I freeze. All the buttons are in Korean. I realize I fucked up. I've really fucked up. Future Toilet wants to see this to the end. Vietnam flashbacks make me worried about pressing more buttons. What if I add another spin cycle to this thing? I can't just get up and leave, can I? Wow, he really thought about it.
Wow, this person really thinks a lot.
This could be a whole chapter in an autobiography, really. I straddle it in an awkward saddle stance, while below it felt like Satan himself was screaming into my ass after eating habanero chilies.
Oh my god.
And then a heavenly sound, a click, then silence. Future Toilet turned off. I immediately pulled up my pants and go with my ass being drier than it's ever been before. Borderline crispy, no need to wipe. That toilet changed my life.
I feel like this entire story is not as exciting as it is. It
really isn't.
A book.
It really isn't exciting.
It's just good description of the entire experience. But TLDR is just like you panicking because you don't understand Korean while you're sitting on a future toilet.
I feel like when it comes to these kind of bidets, everybody has had some sort of horror story with them. Because it's very legitimate, you know. This is something I've done. I think it was one of the first few times I was in Japan. I was in the Narita International Airport, and I went to the toilet, and I legit saw the signs, right? So I legit held my phone and Google translated every sign.
That's smart.
Yeah, because even though it's not accurate, you can get an idea of what it is. And I think like Google Translate is pretty accurate when it comes to these kind of things. So I actually managed to figure out how it works.
Wow, this is a pro tip for everyone traveling. Use Fauzi's advice.
Totally do that.
Use Google Translate, the picture function.
The live translate function. It's very
great.
amazing.
Jeez, Louise.
On the other hand, toilets.
Okay, I already have my rating for this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rate this story a 1 out of 5.
Oh, I'm giving it a 0.5 out of 5.
My god, just cause it's a very weak story, I feel. Alright, so story number 3 is titled Horror Honeymoon. My husband and I were on our honeymoon in Fiji. We had planned on island hopping, and the only set stay we had was at a timeshare his grandma had given us as a wedding gift.
Oh,
so sweet. So we got to this island and it was immediately creepy. Oh no. The buildings all looked like they had been vacant for a long time, neglected and dingy. It was overcast and gloomy with only occasional bursts of sunlight. On the second night, we were in our cabin, which was isolated from the other buildings. There was a huge thunderstorm. In one of the flashes of lightning, my husband found an enormous tropical bug crawling on his legs, headed for the sheets. We decided we had to get off that island. So the next day, my husband went to use the computer while I waited on the covered patio. The proprietor came out of the cabin which housed the computers and approached me, asking if everything was satisfactory. I didn't know what to say really, so I just told him yes. Then he asked me if my mother was sick, and as I was incredibly confused by his question, I told him no, she was fine. Oh my god, I just got goosebumps. When he left and my husband returned, my husband told me he'd panicked when approached by the proprietor, and to explain why we were suddenly cutting our visit short, he had told the proprietor my mother was sick and we had to leave the country right away to rush to her side. Oh my god.
Jang.
The proprietor came back and I stammered out, I just found out my mother was ill, was convinced he knew we were lying. He told us he'd arranged our travel back to the big island. Relieved, we took the boat back to the big island, climbed into a cab and took off, ready to laugh off the residue of creepy we still felt even miles away from that island. We were about to start joking when the cab driver turned and asked me, "How is your mother?"
This is a freaking Scooby-Doo movie, yeah. What is happening?
Oh my god, I got goosebumps again. Oh no, I don't know whether this is creepy or not. Or is it just the setting that, created this creepy image in their head? So everything that followed afterwards, right, will seem creepy to them.
Will you be scared of this kind of situations?
Yeah, I got no balls. Will you be scared?
No eh.
Why?
I think it's an adventure eh.
This is how people die, seriously, man. It's like you will be the main character in all the horror shows. You will go explore.
I will eh. How bad can it be though? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the most important part is like, very unfortunately, they came during a time when the weather was not so good. Like maybe everything looks better when it's brightly lit.
Yeah.
And the weather is great.
I mean, when I think about Fiji, right, I think of crystal blue waters, I think of beautiful white sand beaches. But the bug though, will you be like freaked out by the bug?
As in, I'll be freaked out, but then I wouldn't like associate it to the supernatural. Because I mean, I'm in a new country, what?
Okay.
Huh?
You know the bugs are the supernatural, right?
I know what you mean like by like bugs being the supernatural. I believe that, but in this situation, when I see this enormous tropical bug, I won't be thinking of that. So since we're on the topic of the supernatural, right, there are some things that I do when I go overseas, like go to hotels, Airbnbs. First things first, I will knock the door.
Really?
Yeah, I will knock the door and then I will because I believe that we are disrupting the space of whoever's inside. Right. Yeah, so I will just respectfully knock the door and say like, sorry, we'll be here for maybe 3 days and 2 nights. Wait, you'll tell them your itinerary? Yeah, not like the days.
So, let's have a seat. Let me tell you what am I gonna do in this hotel room.
It's like I'm staying in your house for this period.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm staying there for 3 days, 2 nights, just for a while and I'll be gone. I won't disturb your space. Okay, coming in.
Wait, do you actually verbalize it?
I verbalize it.
You really do?
Yeah, I verbalize it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So I'll just say that I go in. Then another thing I do, my mother teach me one. I don't know whether I should believe this, is to flush the toilet first.
Why
flush away anything. bad.
Um,
I'm not so
wait,
sure.
so you say
No,
sorry?
I'm not.
Wait. So you say sorry to the ghost, then you flush them down the toilet?
No, I'm not flushing them down. I'm flushing bad energy down.
Oh.
But they are still there. Yeah.
Okay. You know, honestly, I think about all these knocking on the door things as almost like you should be doing, but I don't do it, you know? I really don't, and nothing ever has happened to me.
This story seems like it's just a case of thinking too much. Yeah, it doesn't seem as serious as I thought, because there aren't like evidence situations where something supernatural happened.
Yeah.
It's all like the assumptions.
Yeah.
Right? So I would actually rate this 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't blame them for feeling that way. I think I would give them like, I would say 2. I think I get the idea that it can be creepy, but from my experience, I feel like these kind of things can be explained very logically. Yeah. Title is Porta Potty Problems. Love the alliteration. Porta potty problems.
Porta potty problem.
Yeah, it's a basically a Mother Goose tale.
Yeah.
A few summers ago, I went to visit China for family reasons. Since almost everyone from my father's side of the family used to all be farmers 3 generations back, most of my paternal relatives are still in the farmlands. Driving down the dirt road paved mainly by ox walking through there every day, I felt my stomach start hurting and started to look around for a restroom. With no shops in sight, I had to pull over and ask a local where I could take a dump. He points to this shed with a few wood planks acting as walls and a propped up straw door. This is literally what I've seen before in my life. I go inside and notice it has the same design as a porta potty, except there was no maintenance and there were no chemicals that cover up the smell of shit and piss. I knew I had to do what I had to do. I sat down and started breathing through my mouth. It felt like I could taste the shit through the air. Anyway, I finished and got the hell out of the crap shack, literally. Getting into the car after thanking the locals, I noticed my pocket felt lighter. Oh no! After checking, I figured out my passport went missing. The life drained from my face.
Oh shit!
I went back to the crap shack and sitting atop this throne of shit and piss was my passport. I couldn't help but think of the scene where a kid jumped into a porta potty from Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh my God.
I went, fuck no, not doing that after seeing that it's out of my reach of my arms, and I'd have to actually lower myself into the hole to pick it up.
Shit.
I went back out and asked the local about what I should do. He offered to get it for me for the cheap price of 100 yen, which is roughly about $15. I gladly parted with the money and the local just used something resembling a butterfly net and just scooped up the passport with a good chunk of shit. Walked over to a water pump, washed off the shit from the passport and handed it back to me. I shoved the passport into an empty chips bag. After I finished my stay in China, I was boarding the flight back to Cali and the security checks personnel asked me to show him my passport, and naturally I gave it to him, holding it in a napkin. He started doing that thing where people would lick their fingers to help flip the pages, and I tried to warn him, excuse? He ignored me and just kept on flipping and licking his finger, and then flipping, and then he stops and notices the stains on the passport page and then smells it. All hell broke loose. He starts yelling at me in Mandarin and throws the passport back at me and points to the boarding gates and yells, "Go!" It was pretty hard not to laugh, but I felt if I did then, he'd probably tell one of the guards I had a bomb on me or some shit to get me detained.
Oh my god.
The irony, some shit.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
First things first, let's address this.
Yes.
Apart from shopping malls and luxurious buildings, the toilets in China are pretty damn...
Yes, yeah.
It's really a problem. But don't get me started on the freaking train toilets.
What kind of train toilets?
Because I was on a backpacking trip like for 2 weeks in China with my friends. It was like a grad trip. So we wanted to like hop from city to city, and to get to each city we have to take like either a plane or a train, right? Like overnight trains. We decided to be adventurous, right? Some trains, let's do the not so aras ones.
No, so not a first class train, but
and then we'll do the first class after, like for the longest trip.
Got it.
Right? So the situation is just a bench, and you have to sit on it for the whole ride. And then when you go to the toilet, you need to go to the toilet at the start, I tell you, when it's still clean. Don't even think of going right towards the end, because I went into the squat toilet. Okay, I went to the toilet, it was squat. There was shit like everywhere. For some reason, nobody can aim into the hole. Like, it's just everywhere.
No lah, it's not their fault, because sometimes, right, right?
No,
I think
it's on top, that kind. It looks intentional.
No, okay, you think about it. You think about it. Okay, you think about intentional. You're saying people just take their shit and put it on the fucking floor.
They just shit there.
No,
I look at the shit and I knew it was intentional.
No way! What the fuck? I was thinking maybe, because some people, right, they don't like to sit they squat on toilets.
Oh no, this is a squat toilet.
Oh, yeah. Wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, so right.
Wait, okay, then it's possible, ma, because the train moving,
maybe,
suddenly got woo! That shit.
But I saw it, right, so not just that, shit everywhere, right, the toilet was so clogged. I swear, right, that was the only time I went to the toilet, I almost wanted to puke. I really made a sound, it was going to come out, but I didn't want to puke into the hole because if I puke into the hole and too much things came out, it would splatter on my face. So I held the puke in and I walked out slowly.
God damn.
Yeah, but after that, right, on the flip side, we went to the first class one and it was great. It's 4 of us in a single room, and then we had our own toilet and our own mirror.
Nice.
Yeah, and they even had toothbrush and all that for us.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
Oh my god, I think just spend a little bit more, it's fine.
Yeah, what else?
Yeah.
Have you ever dropped something into the toilet?
Actually, no.
Oh my god, I've dropped so many things in the toilet. I've dropped my wallet in the toilet. I've dropped my phone in the toilet. Things like phones. It's still okay. It's like
but paper. Passport.
Passport some more, yeah. Passport paper. That's it,
Gone,
stain,
goodbye.
Got one mark there forever. If I were you, I would report lost.
Yeah, report lost and just pay a bit to get
a new passport, man. Yeah, oh my goodness, it's crazy. Yeah, I cannot imagine. Thinking about it, right? I think about all the times I've been holding my passport. I'm like, if it was just stained with a bit of shit, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done also. Shall we rate this story?
Wow.
Well, it's tough. This one, to me, quite strong. Quite funny.
Yeah.
I will rate it a 4.5 out of 5.
Ooh.
Because I don't want, like what you said, I don't want this to happen to anyone.
Yeah.
It's a good learning lesson to just not put your passport in your pocket.
I would say 4, a 4. It's quite a disgusting story, and just having to put myself in this situation. Out of all the situations, the 3 other situations, I feel like I could live with it. I could, roll with the punches. But this one, I will not like to touch that shit. No.
Right.
No, thank you.
Yeah, same. Okay, so after hearing all these stories today, right?
Yes.
Which is the most impactful to you?
I mean, 3 out of 4 of the stories were quite impactful in the sense that I would like to go and find them.
You're
right?
crazy.
I would like to go and find these people and the toilet. Yeah, so I would say, quite impactful.
For me, right, the most impactful one is the horror story. Because you know how I am with Supernatural.
Oh.
I'm very hypersensitive about this kind of things. If it happens to me, I will just leave. Also, if you all have any traveling horror stories, can share with us in the comments below.
Oh, cannot use the link that we have down there?
Can also, but then, maybe we can do a part 2.
Yeah. The link can be more detailed.
Right.
Better be as good as a storyteller as number 2.
To wrap up this video, we're gonna give all of you out there a list of tips.
Okay.
To avoid traveling horror stories.
Yes.
Number 1, keep your passport in a Ziploc bag.
Yes.
So that it's kept clean and dry in any wet situation. Tip number 2, I mean, if you want to do it, you can do it. Please acknowledge their presence in the room and announce your arrival.
My practical, I would say, especially for someone who used to travel a lot alone, my one thing is don't do stupid things that will draw attention to you, especially if you're traveling alone. You gotta act like you are a local. Don't try to be extremely loud and don't try to get in other people's way. Try to be respectful of everybody's or every country's customs or people's norms. For example, things like, standing the right side of the escalator. If you feel like it's a bit suspicious, it likely is. So decline politely and move on. Because I've been approached many times, sign this survey or hey, put your name here and what's it called? And sign this petition, for example.
So what is that actually?
So it's a scam lah. Basically, it's a very elaborate scam, right? They get you to sign a petition, right? Then their members, right, will come and like try to pickpocket you, for example. Yeah. And it's happened a lot.
Okay, that's all we have for today's episode. If you have any interesting horror traveling stories you want to share, or you just want to react to the confessions that we reacted to today, you can leave them in the comments below.
Yes.
Or if you have any confessions of any other topics that you want to share, we have Zula Answers link. You can submit them. It's gonna be in the description box. And of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye!